이 위대한 구원. 크로스포인트 주니어 처치에서 전해드리는 이 시간, 담당의 Darin Pantley 형제입니다.
Hi, this is Darin Pantley from Crosspoint Bible Church. It feels like kids these days are born holding a cell phone. As they exit the hospital, they're already updating their social media profiles, and by the time they arrive home, they have a few million followers. I couldn't afford a cell phone until I got my first job working in a warehouse shipping science supplies. I got the cheapest plan I could find. It cost 10 cents to send a text message, so I didn't send many. It also cost 10 cents to receive a text message. My friends thought that was hilarious. Today, we have access to many unlimited plans, unlimited talk, unlimited text, even unlimited data. It's amazing how far the technology has come. Did you know even regular old phone calls got some big upgrades? First with Voice over LTE in 2009, and then with Voice over New Radio in 2022. In other words, calls sound better now than they used to. You've probably seen ads for cell phone plans. If you give them your old 4G phone, they can give you a new one that supports 5G speeds. On the surface, it sounds great. 5 is more than 4, so it must be better, right? It's not always obvious from the advertising, but there are actually 3 flavors of 5G. The high band 5G is the fastest, ridiculously fast, but it doesn't reach very far. You can find it in places like downtown Chicago. The low band 5G reaches really far, but it's not very speedy, useful for trips into the countryside. And there's a mid-band 5G too, pretty fast, decent coverage. Now, if you thought that was complicated, hold on a second. I was looking at phone plans, and the prices are all over the place. You can get a 5G plan for $25 a month or $80 a month per line. How does that make sense? $25 per month is pretty cheap, but it only gives you the slowest 5G. Pay a little extra, maybe $50 or $60 per month per line, and you get access to the speedy 5G options. Did you know you can also pay extra to have your phone data prioritized over other customers? That's one of the perks of paying $80 per month per line. It's useful for people who frequently go to crowded places like sports stadiums or airports. If you go shopping for 5G and look around at everything, you might be surprised at what's lurking in the fine print. It's worth paying attention. After all, what good is a bad phone plan? Now, let's segue to our next topic. If you're not a native English speaker, that's an interesting word to learn. Segue. To move smoothly from one subject to another. In the Bible, in the book of Mark, chapter 11, there's a record of Jesus entering the city of Jerusalem. It says, Jesus entered Jerusalem and went into the temple courts. He looked around at everything. But since it was already late, he went out to Bethany with the 12. It doesn't say what Jesus found when he looked around in the temple, but I suspect he couldn't stop thinking about it. The next day, Jesus was hungry, and he saw a fig tree in the distance. It says, when he reached it, he found nothing but leaves, because it was not the season for figs. Then he said to the tree, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." Then Jesus goes back to the temple, flips over some tables, and says, "Is it not written, 'My house will be called a house of prayer for all nations'? But you have made it a den of robbers." Later, Jesus and his disciples pass by the fig tree again, and Peter says to Jesus, "Rabbi, look! The fig tree you cursed has withered." What was Jesus thinking about when he took out his anger on that fig tree? Was it really about the tree? What good is a fig tree without fruit, or a temple without praying believers? Then he reminds his followers to pray. "Have faith in God," Jesus answered.
지금까지 크로스포인트 주니어 처치에서 전해드렸습니다. 언어와 문화의 장벽을 없애고 실시간 동시 통역이 제공되는 크로스포인트 주니어 처치의 주일 예배 시간은 오전 11시이며 교회에 대한 안내는 847-212-6775로 문의해 주시길 바랍니다.